It's Monday, February 23rd.
You feel like a war zone. The intersections are blocked with burned out vehicles, and you hear bangs and you don't know where they're coming from.
Canadians stranded in Mexico this morning are being told to stay indoors and keep a low profile following an outbreak of violence.
We are asking New Yorkers to avoid all non-essential travel.
A powerful nor'easter slamming the U.S. Northeast and is moving into Atlantic Canada this morning. Valerie Malte and Stephen Dubois carry the maple leaf with pride as they led Team Canada in the closing ceremony of the Winter Olympics. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Monday.
Oh, listen, you left for a week and you left Janelle with just some beautiful temperatures.
Yeah, unfortunately, that wasn't planned that I was leaving Janelle to give all the bad news, but hey, it worked out for me, right? Because I'm not giving any more bad news today.
That's true. Do you want to make fun of my vintage earbuds?
I do want to make fun of your vintage earbuds. I asked to borrow some. I'm listening to the Twilight audiobook right now, and Daryl passes me these. Look, I've already tangled them. They're impractical.
Do they work?
They work, but I feel like I'm in the early 2000s.
They work.
So vintage.
That's considered vintage. All right, let's get on to news. My goodness, okay. Now to the deadly takedown of one of the world's most wanted men, Mexico's military, with the help from the United States, killing the drug lord known as El Mencho, setting off mayhem in the streets. The aftermath also creating dangers for tourists. Here's Allison Cossack.
This morning, parts of Mexico are reeling after military forces launched a daring operation to capture the country's most powerful drug lord, known as El Mencho, and ended up killing him. Cartel members unleashed violence in response in at least 20 Mexican states. ABC's Matt Rivers has covered the country for years.
What we've seen across the country in Mexico since this happened is an explosion of violence. Members of this cartel coming out, throwing up roadblocks, engaging in firefights with security forces as a way to send a message to the authorities, hey, you might have gotten our leader, but we're not going to go down quietly.
The 59-year-old El Mencho was also wanted by the U.S., a Pentagon official telling ABC News that NORTHCOM, a newly established U.S. task force, provided information for the raid. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt on X saying El Mencho was a top target for the Mexican and United States government as one of the top traffickers of fentanyl into our homeland. After the takedown, explosions erupted across Puerto Vallarta, a popular destination for Americans. Even a Costco store on fire.
It didn't burn down, but there's definitely buildings where vehicles around it on fire.
The violence forcing the Puerto Vallarta airport to suspend all flights, stranding many U.S. citizens trying to get home.
We have not been able to find a flight back. Even if we hear that the airport is secure and there's military people around the airport keeping it safe, getting there and the hour drive to the airport is the concerning part. We don't know what we may find along the way.
At the time of the raid, U.S. citizens in Puerto Vallarta were told to shelter in place until further notice. Mexico authorities say order is gradually being restored. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
We'll continue to keep our eye on that situation. In the meantime, an armed man who entered U.S. President Donald Trump's resort in Palm Beach has been shot and killed.
He put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the two Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat.
U.S. Secret Service says the man entered a secure perimeter of Mar-a-Lago early Sunday morning. Authorities say the man had a gas can and a shotgun. Although Donald Trump often spends weekends at the resort, he was at the White House when the incident happened. The FBI says investigators have identified him as 21-year-old from North Carolina. Investigators have not identified a motive. Travelers flying into the U.S. are being told to head to the airport early. Nexus and Global Entry Pre-Clearance Program programs are suspended right now. The closure is being blamed on the partial U.S. government shutdown. TSA pre-check is still operating. The partial shutdown started on February 14th, Valentine's Day. This closure comes on top of delays being caused by that major snowstorm we're about to tell you about, which is bringing heavy snow from parts of Maryland all the way up to Maine and into Atlantic Canada, leading several governors to declare states of emergency, with up to 70 million people feeling the effects of the storm, which is far from over. Lionel Moyes reports.
Overnight, a powerful nor'easter slamming the east coast from Virginia to New England, unleashing dangerous winds, coastal flooding, and dumping up to 2 feet of snow.
Horizontal, vertical, even diagonally. That's how the snow is falling right now. It really is something to see.
7 states declaring a state of emergency.
Hopefully everybody stays home and doesn't come out in this.
More than 40 million people under a blizzard warning, including New Jersey, which hasn't seen a statewide warning of this magnitude in 30 years. Tens of thousands of customers in the state were without power overnight. Parts of Massachusetts could see wind gusts topping 70 miles per hour, creating whiteout conditions, making travel extremely dangerous.
The fewer vehicles on the streets, the faster our teams can clear roads and respond to emergencies.
New York City issuing a travel ban until noon today for all vehicles, shutting down streets, highways, and bridges. New Jersey Transit and the Long Island Railroad suspending service, and in Philadelphia, buses are no longer running. The storm also paralyzing major airports, with more than 7,000 delays and nearly 3,500 cancellations Sunday, leaving some passengers stranded.
People that got canceled aren't going to get a flight to Thursday if they're lucky.
Schools canceled today throughout the Northeast, with many districts switching to remote learning. But in New York City, Mayor Zohran Mamdani opting for a traditional snow day, calling one student to share the good news.
I thought as the mayor I wanted to call you and give you some news. We've got a full snow day tomorrow. No online school, yes! No remote learning, full classic snow day.
Again, here in New York, we are in a travel ban until at least noon, and there was a snowplow that overturned, leading to a hazmat situation. Officials are urging everyone to please stay off the road so the plows can do their work. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
It was a cold weekend, Jeremy, in your neck of the woods, ours as well, but that didn't stop people in your area from getting outside.
No, in spite of the frigid temperatures, Daryl, visitors bundled up and explored the grounds of Wanuskewin Heritage Park to learn more about those who lived off the land for generations. It was Wanuskewin's Kona Festival, returning once again. The event's a celebration of Indigenous culture and an opportunity to take in some land-based winter teachings. Those in attendance could try out dog sledding, see a hide-making demonstration, try out bison meat smoked over a fire in the teepee village.
Indigenous people lived on the Northern Plains year-round, so it doesn't matter whether it's plus 30 or minus 30, you are living out on the land, and there's a lot of things that we do for entertainment while we're out there.
The festival has been an annual event at Wanuskewin since 2018. All right, some sports. So after winning 51 straight games, the streak has finally been snapped for the U of S Huskies women's basketball team.
The one here gets it up, and now the Calgary Dinos are through to the Canada West Finals. They are the one.
It's being called one of the biggest upsets in conference history. The Calgary Dinos beat the Huskies on Saturday night, 61-58 in the Canada West semifinals. Coming into the playoffs, the Huskies had not lost a game since November of 2024. They won the national championship last season, went undefeated this regular season. Now, even with the loss, the Huskies could still get an at-large berth into the national tournament. Gage Grasick was named a conference first-team All-Star. Now, the Huskies men's hockey team punched their ticket to the conference semifinals in dramatic overtime fashion.
At the point, gets it back to Kosher, stops, fires, tipped in front, rebound is there, backhand scores!
Keaton Sorensen scored the game winner in overtime Saturday night to help the Huskies complete the sweep of Alberta in their best-of-3 quarterfinal playoff series. Former Saskatoon Blade Connor Roulette had 2 goals in the series. Nolan Meyer stood tall between the pipes for Saskatchewan. Huskies will now travel to Vancouver this weekend for a semifinal playoff series against top-ranked UBC. Game 1 of that series goes Friday night. So, Daryl, all our hockey dreams came true over the weekend, right?
Except for one. The U.S. took the gold medal, as you know, in men's hockey.
When it's a good challenge and it's a good rivalry, it always hurts a little more.
I don't want to start any controversy, but yeah, we wanted to win bad.
Jack Hughes scored less than 2 minutes into overtime to give the U.S. a 2-1 win over Canada, the first Olympic gold since 1980. You know that. The Miracle on Ice is also the first gold medal in men's hockey for the U.S. since NHL players were permitted to play at the Olympics. Team Canada and fans now have to look ahead to 2030 in France for redemption. Despite some tough losses, Canada still had plenty to celebrate at the Winter Olympics as they wrapped up. Speed skaters Valerie Malte and Stephen Dubois carried the flag as the team marched in the closing ceremonies. The ceremony was a celebration of sports and culture as Italy handed off the Olympic flag to France, which will host the next Winter Games. Team Canada leaves Italy with 21 medals, 5 gold. Our athletes won 7 silver, 9 bronze as well. The Milano Cortina Paralympic Games will start March 6th. We look forward to that. Let's turn our attention to the weather picture and hopefully no more snow like they just saw in the Northeast today.
Well, we are seeing some more snow in the province today, just not like what we were seeing last week. We did see some in North Saskatchewan and parts of Central Saskatchewan as well overnight and into the early parts of this morning. We're still seeing some of that snow falling in parts of the province. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. Let's talk about some current temperatures, though. It is a bit cool to start the day in Regina, -15. And we've also been seeing some increased winds this morning. Currently, they're coming in at 41 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, -16, not seeing the winds nearly as strong right now, only coming in at 11 kilometers per hour and a few clouds in the sky to start the day. Let's talk about that radar and satellite, because all those areas you see with that precipitation falling, this matches up perfectly with what we're seeing on the highway hotline this morning, and that says that roads are partly covered in all those areas where we saw that snow falling. What you're looking at on your screen now is current, so this is where the system is currently at, Prince Albert, and areas north of that currently still seeing some of that snowfall. By the early to mid-afternoon, we do see that system making its way out of the province, and then some more on the way into the later parts of the afternoon. This is at about 6:15 p.m. what you're looking at on your screen. So that system is going to be right in between Saskatoon and Regina, right over top of Yorkton. So of course, we are still talking about some flurries later on into the afternoon and into the evening hours as well. About 10:45 p.m. right over top of Regina. So we're still going to be seeing those flakes falling. Yorkton still seeing some of those flakes as well. And then the last piece of the system exiting the province through the southeast corner of the province, right around Estevan there. Let's talk about temperatures coming along with this today. -14 for the Battlefords, -12 for Saskatoon. Again, those flakes likely going to be falling in the later parts of the afternoon there. -2 in Regina, -2 in Weyburn, -2 expected for Estevan. Cooler through Yorkton, -10 expected this afternoon, and warmer through the southwest corner. Swift Current expecting 5 degrees. Your 7-day forecast looking like a bit of a roller coaster yet again, dropping down quite a bit tomorrow to about -13, and then up on Wednesday to -1, 3 degrees on Thursday in many places in the province, expecting to be seeing those positive numbers on Thursday. More wind gusts on the way for Friday, mainly down towards the south, but Central Saskatchewan still seeing some of them. Regina and Saskatoon could be seeing some gusts surpassing 50 kilometers per hour and then getting colder for the weekend. In Saskatoon, -13 tomorrow, 0 degrees though on Wednesday, up to 2 degrees on Thursday. A few flakes on the way. This could be a very sporadic bit of wet snow. -16 though on Friday. Again, talking about those wind gusts going up.
Lung cancer kills more Americans than any other cancer, but a quick, low-dose CT scan can catch it early. And the guidelines from the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force are clear. If you're between 50 and 80 and you smoke now or have quit in the last 15 years, you should be screened every year. Unfortunately, as a new study in JAMA reveals, less than 1 in 5 people who qualify for lung cancer screening actually get it. Only 8% of smokers and former smokers in their early 50s are getting tested, compared to about 23% of those who meet the guidelines in their 70s. Researchers say if every eligible person were screened, up to 3 times more lung cancer deaths could be prevented. That's tens of thousands of lives. The study's authors call for greater awareness and better access. Check with your doctor to see if you are one of the people who should have a regular lung cancer check, especially if you are a smoker or a former smoker. With this Medical Minute, I'm Christiane Cordero.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Well, in case you missed it, one of Japan's most famous sandwiches is now coming to Canada. We are talking, of course, about the egg salad sando from 7-Eleven. It's a must-have for people visiting Japan.
Really?
The sandwich is part of a plan to revamp 7-Eleven's food choices in Canada. It's expected to make its debut in stores by March 4th, which begs the question, on March 4th, are you both going to be at a 7-Eleven to try it?
Jeremy will try it for sure, I guarantee.
I am super excited. I've never heard of this before. This is really intriguing. I can't wait. How many days we got? That's like 2 weeks.
If there's one thing I know about Jado,
10 days.
He'll try anything once.
So for me, though, when I'm looking at it, did it not look unnaturally yellow to you?
It looked like an egg salad sandwich.
And I don't love egg salad made here in Canada. I'm not sure about. I don't know if it's different in Japan. I don't know.
March 5th, Jeremy's going to be in the group chat being like, I don't think I can come tomorrow. I feel a little off
something is not right.
From the gas station egg salad.
This region. Oh, yeah. Let's get to our question of the day. Oh, there was heartbreak in the sports world yesterday, which led Kaylee to this question of the day.
Yeah, we're asking you, what is your most memorable sports heartbreak if it wasn't this past weekend? Jeremy, do you have anything that comes to mind?
Well, yeah, there was a football game played in 2009 that I think we're going to hear a lot about this morning. The 13th man classic Grey Cup. Yep. That's the big one for me. But, you know, these last couple of Oilers, I'm not a huge Oilers fan, but I was really on the bandwagon these last couple of playoff runs. So there's that. There was the Blue Jays recently, and now yesterday was really tough to handle for an hour or so afterwards.
Yeah. The Blue Jays one affected a lot of people. For me, the David Tyree helmet catch for me. The New England Patriots lost to the Giants back in the Super Bowl. That one hurt.
In my house, it was June 24th of 2024 when the Oilers lost Game 7. And, you know, I was 4 days from delivering my daughter.
There were real tears.
And when they lost in Game 7, my husband turned off the game and he said, go into labor, I need to feel some joy.
Oh, boy.
So which one's ripped your heart out? Text us or scan that QR code. Share those answers. We're back after this.
Hello, Laura Dyken here inside the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. For that, let's head to the West Coast, Los Angeles, and a little golf in the final round of the Genesis Invitational. Here's Tommy Fleetwood on the par 4 15 from 173 yards out. And guess where it's going to end up? Slam dunk. It's so much sweeter when it goes straight in. Incredible shot from the Englishman. That is your must-see moment, very deserving from Sunday. Well, tonight on TSN, NBA fans, you are in luck. It's Wemby and the Spurs taking on the East-leading Detroit Pistons. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And that does it for us here inside the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great rest of the day.
Time now for a look at your school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina or Saskatoon, it's a chilly start to the day. -15 in Regina and -16 in Saskatoon right now. Winds are stronger down towards the south, though. By lunchtime in Regina, -8, winds going down just slightly, and -13 at that lunchtime hour in Saskatoon. By final bell, warming up to -2 in Regina. A mix of sun and clouds, the snow coming later on into the late afternoon, early evening. In Saskatoon, by final bell, we could start to see some of those flakes already. -12 is the high there. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common price this morning is $127.9. The lowest you might find is $102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price is $119.9, and the lowest you might find is $116.9. Over to the farm markets now, where we find the street price of canola at $625.73 per ton, and the futures price at $674.30 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now sits at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat at $266.27 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is up this morning. It's at 73.05 cents US. Coming up after the break, a floor crossing last week. We'll ask a Conservative strategist where the party goes from here. Stay with us.
Let's get right to it. Tax season now officially open, and the Canada Revenue Agency is hoping its revamped services will help you. The CRA says taxpayers should have an easier time this year after facing criticism for long wait times and, in some cases, bad advice from representatives. The agency underwent government-ordered service improvement plans focused on addressing call center delays. It now has streamlined its websites, hired more call center workers, and rejigged standards for accuracy. Many of the updates centers around the CRA's My Account. For example, those locked out of their CRA accounts can now get access by answering security questions instead of calling the helpline and staying on hold for what seems like forever. Saskatchewan's lone MP, Buckley Belanger, visited Regina on Sunday to announce the federal government's support for a clean energy and technology composting facility at the Cowessess First Nation. Sierra D'Souza Butts reports.
A unique waste disposal system was designed to help enhance food production on Cowessess First Nation, and the Government of Canada is providing funding for the Indigenous-led initiative.
I'm proud to announce $855,000 through Prairie Scan for the Cowessess Ventures Limited.
The investment supports a rapid biofertilizer facility planned for Cowessess through Prairie Scan, which will turn organic waste into compost and fertilizer, aiming to boost greenhouse and agricultural production.
We can grow our own food faster, better, and for our own needs at less cost.
It'll not only create jobs for people in the communities, both Pasqua and Cowessess, but it'll contribute to educating our youth in the full circle economy.
To coincide with the waste disposal bin, Cowessess will also install and operate a growing dome for year-round food production, feeding people in their community as well as Pasqua First Nation.
Hopefully we can scale up and contribute to our urban population. Cowessess is the biggest nation in Treaty 4. We have 2,000 members just in Regina. So we'd like to be able to help this contribute to feeding everybody.
In partnership with B Nature Biotech and Pro Metal Industries, the waste disposal bin will divert organic waste from landfills and keep materials safe from prairie weather conditions and wildlife.
This project is not just about composting. It's about building local capacity, technical agriculture, and economic in a way that aligns with the community priorities and environmental responsibility.
Adding 10 more machines are expected to be delivered by August. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
RCMP and Tumbler Ridge are now looking into several threats after the deadly mass school shooting. Police say they are aware of the threats being made against certain people in the community, but investigators have not been able to verify or corroborate those threats. A family of one of the victims says they have been forced to leave their home. They have also canceled their daughter's funeral because they are being harassed, they say. Police say they are taking the threats seriously, adding safety plans have been put in place. Russia launched 50 missiles and nearly 300 drones in overnight attacks against Ukraine, according to the country's Air Force. At least one person was killed and 5 others injured in the Kyiv region. Ukraine's emergency service says another 8 people, including 1 child, had to be rescued from under the rubble of destroyed buildings. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says Moscow, quote, continues to invest in strikes more than in diplomacy. There was no immediate comment from Russia. Ukrainians and Regina members gathered at the Lodomor Monument near the Saskatchewan Legislative Building on Saturday to remember those who were lost in the potato famine.
My classmates gone, like my good friends, husbands and brothers are gone. It's so many people lost by now. And what we're asking, the community and people, be present. That's the biggest gift that you can give your time.
My brother is in the front lines. He's been volunteering since the beginning of the war, and that's actually his jacket he presented to us as a gift.
Apologize, that was during the war, not during the famine. Now, let's get over to sports. The Saskatchewan Rush have improved to 10-1 on the season.
Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Church, and he got it back out in front, and it's put home by Zach Manns. Another
that assist was point number 950 for Robert Church. That makes the 34-year-old the franchise leader in points, surpassing Mark Matthews. Ryan Keenan led the way with 4 goals, 4 assists in a 14-6 drubbing of the Philadelphia Wings on Sunday afternoon. The Rush take on the Buffalo Bandits on Friday night. Let's get over to the Weather Center, where a warm-up is on the way. That's at least what I believe in my heart.
Yeah, we can all hope for it. By about Thursday, we're seeing some really nice temperatures in the province. For the next couple days, still seeing some of those cool temperatures, but that's okay. Let's take a look at this morning view. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. In Regina, as I mentioned, a cooler start to the day, -15. We're also seeing some wind gusts and some few very light flakes in the area. Don't worry about that too much for your morning, but into your evening hours, we're going to be talking about that a little bit more. -15, though, as I mentioned, winds coming in at 41 kilometers per hour. In Saskatchewan, -16, a few clouds up in the sky. Winds not nearly as strong there for the start of the day. Let's talk about some hot and cold spots in Saskatchewan this hour. Our hot spot is Maple Creek, 0.2 degrees. The cold spot, Stony Rapids, of course, -27.9. The Canadian hot spot, White Rock, BC, 7.8 degrees already. And the Canadian cold spot this hour is Eureka, -44.3. Let's talk about those current temperatures, though, and what everybody's at. We just talked about Stony Rapids. This board has rounded it to, down to -28, -21 in La Ronge, -23 in South End, -16 in Prince Albert, and -21 to start the day in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, we're seeing a few temperatures that are a bit warmer than that, but really we're talking a lot about those pink colors across the board, really, to start the day. Later on into the afternoon hours, we are going to be seeing a warm up in the southwest corner. Swift Current reaching 5 degrees with that cloud cover. Moose Jaw, 1 degree. Again, seeing a lot of cloud cover today, but some other areas expecting some more of those flurries. Prince Albert, -13 with some of those flakes this afternoon. -12 for Saskatoon. We're expecting those flakes to be there in the later parts of the afternoon, though, likely starting around 3 p.m. Regina, -2. You also see the snow icon there. But again, we're talking about the flakes from this morning really going away for most of the early afternoon and coming back into the evening hours. -2 in Weyburn, -2 in Estevan, mix of sun and cloud there. And Yorkton, -10. Again, we're expecting to be seeing some of those flakes. Now, when we take a look at the temperatures tomorrow, we do see them drop a bit for Regina, -13, -1 for Wednesday, and then up to 3 degrees on Thursday. This is the warm-up that we were talking about, so it is on the way. -13 on Friday, but we're expecting those wind gusts to be going up across the province on that day. -13 for Saskatoon tomorrow, 0 degrees on Wednesday, up to 2 degrees on Thursday. Again, that will be above that seasonal average again, but we are going to be talking about a few flakes coming back into consideration, dropping down to -16 on Friday, but yet again, we're talking about the winds going up.
Quite simply couldn't sit on the sidelines after seeing what the Prime Minister was, the ambitious agenda he was undertaking.
Alberta MP Matt Jenneru had a change of heart, said he was going to leave politics to spend more time with his family. Then the speech in Davos by the Prime Minister convinced him he should cross the floor and join the Liberal Party. That leaves Mark Carney 3 seats shy of a majority. What does this all mean? Well, let's get a political insider's take and welcome in Michael Solberg from New West Public Affairs. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks so much, Daryl. Happy to be here as always.
Hey, you spent some time with the Calgary Mare. You did some fabulous work out there. Now you're back in the saddle. You've left the political sphere for a little bit. You're keeping tabs on it. You're back in it now. Outside looking in and inside looking out, what does this look like to you?
Well, I mean, it's certainly not ideal for the Conservative opposition. Mark Carney is teetering now on a majority. In fact, he would already have it had he not had a number of his MPs resign. So pending the results of a couple of by-elections, elections that are on the horizon, Mark Carney will secure his long-wanted majority. So what this really means most materially to Canadians is don't expect to go to the polls anytime soon unless you're in one of those ridings that have by-elections, as Mark Carney will have a majority, and that will allow him to govern for at least the next 3 years. That gives Pierre Poilievre lots of time, frankly, to figure out what he needs to do to become the alternative party and alternative government here in Canada. But it also gives opposition to Pierre Poilievre lots of time to consider, how did we end up here? Why are we in this position? And does it put hot water under the feet of Pierre Poilievre? We'll have to wait and see. But I suspect that the knives are being sharpened, at least in some cases.
From where you sit, what is the state of the Conservative Party federally?
I think they're strong. I mean, if you look at most polling, they're polling very, very competitively with the Liberals. Look, 10 years ago, if the Conservatives were polling consistently at 36, 38, even as high as 40, where they landed in the last federal election, they would form a majority government every single time. But the landscape has, of course, shifted with the eradication of the federal NDP, most particularly relevant to this discussion. So support like that does not form a government in a way that it used to. But it does mean that the Poilievre Conservatives remain extraordinarily competitive in really every region of this country. The real metric which needs to be addressed is the preferred prime minister numbers, where Pierre Poilievre continues to trail Mark Carney. But if an election were held today, best believe the Conservatives would remain extraordinarily competitive, which is a gift that they have, that their support has remained so stable throughout so much of this turmoil.
Another gift is that the NDP federally are basically non-existent at this point. They've got 5 candidates vying for votes within the party to be the leader. I don't know if you can name one of them as an average Canadian. How much trouble is that party in? How much work do they have to do?
Speaking of trouble, yes, the federal NDP are in heaps of it. I mean, they have had a leadership race, or they're in the midst of one that has really captured no attention or the hearts and minds of regular Canadians. They have, I suspect they have had poor fundraising numbers. Are they ready for an election? Absolutely not. And their front runner, Avi Lewis, who by all accounts should probably pull this off, just doesn't exactly appeal to, I think, many regular Canadians. I think he takes the party back to the further fringes of the House of Commons. So, and I think risks, frankly, the slim support they already have. So this is a gift for the Carney Liberals. Most of the left-wing flank of Canadians and those kind of sharing the views of the traditional New Democrats are now sitting mostly under the support of Mark Carney. Pierre Poilievre, for his part, did some work to frankly pull the rug out from underneath him as well by earning himself some support from organized labor. So there's really no faction or really identifiable voting bloc of people who I think would vote New Democrat today. And that's bad news for their party, but it's also bad news for Pierre Poilievre, who needs a strong New Democrat party to, I think, remain competitive with Mark Carney and the Liberals. A two-party race is difficult for the Conservatives. They do remain competitive, but a two-party system absolutely favors the Liberals, and that's the state that we're in now.
Michael, as always, appreciate your insights. Always good to have a couple of Brooks, Alberta boys talking politics on TV.
Thanks so much, Daryl. It's always a pleasure to be here, man.
Okay, let's head out now to Janelle Lapai. She is live at the Hotel Saskatchewan this morning ahead of TeleMiracle's 50th year. Good morning, Janelle. Good morning.
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning. That's right. Exciting times are ahead, and I've got Tammy Blackwell with me here. Now, Tammy, let's start off with a little bit of an overview on what excitement is planned for the anniversary show.
Well, have we got a lot of stuff. So 50 is a big year, so we have a bunch of new things to share. So TeleMiracle is happening this coming weekend, February 28th. We are starting at 7 p.m. instead of our traditional 9 p.m. So thanks to a great partnership with CTV, we've captured 2 hours of prime TV. So tune in 7 p.m. on Saturday, February 28th. And then we're finishing up March 1st at 5 p.m. as per usual. Other new things, we have a huge cast that will be hosting the show all through those 22 hours. But we also have a lot of special appearances. So there's a lot of extra content to tune in for. As well, we have about 70 Saskatchewan talent, and most of those Saskatchewan talent wanted to perform live this year. There are a few pre-records for different reasons, but there is going to be a great lineup of live content this year.
It really does sound like it. And tell me a little bit about the backstage lounge.
Yeah, you bet. So you know how there are some special stories that don't just quite have enough time on the stage or during the show to tell their story. So the backstage lounge is a new component where people can go and tell more of their story. So it's an interviews area. And so both the telethon as well as the backstage lounge interviews can be watched. They will be live streamed. So check out Twitch. The show can also will be on Facebook, our Facebook page, TeleMiracle, as well. Then check out our telemiracle.com website for a live stream to both the show and these backstage lounge interviews.
All right, Tammy, well, thank you so much. A lot of excitement is ahead once again. That is TeleMiracle's 50th year.
Time for your Monday morning weather or not. Are you both ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, play along at home. What percentage of Canada's precipitation falls as snow? Is it 18%, 25%, 36%, 48, or 52? What do you think?
I'm going to go with a quarter. 25. That seems a little low, though.
I'm going to say...
let's go with a quarter. 20. Answer B for me.
B for you. I'll go C just to be different.
All right, the answer is C. 36% of Canada's precipitation falls as snow, compared with 5% globally. A quarter of the Earth's land surface gets snowed on every year, including half of North America.
There you go.
Cool.
Mexico overtook Canada in 2025 as the largest market for U.S. merchandise exports for the first time since the North American Free Trade Agreement launched in 1994, while simultaneously extending its run as the biggest supplier of goods to the U.S. to a third straight year, according to data from the U.S. Census Bureau. Mexico now accounts for 15.6% of total U.S. two-way trade flows, placing it ahead of Canada at 12.8%. Canada's aviation regulator issued certificates for some Gulfstream jet models after U.S. President Donald Trump complained the country had refused to greenlight the aircraft and threatened tariffs and other measures in retaliation. So-called type certificates, which Canada uses when a product meets airworthiness standards, were issued for the Gulfstream G7 G500 and the G7 G600 on February 15th, according to documents published by Transport Canada. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
February 23rd, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a belated birthday wish going out to Hank, who turned 10 this weekend. We hope you had a great day from your friends and family. Another belated birthday wish going out to Mel. He just turned 82 years old. Lots of love coming your way from your wife, Carol, and the rest of your family. And here's a cool milestone. These siblings are all celebrating these couple of days. Georgia turned 13 yesterday, and Tegan and Tia are turning 17 years old today. Happy birthday to all of you. Enjoy your birthdays. And celebrating today is Jimmy on his 50th birthday. Happy birthday. Have an awesome day. This shout out coming from your hockey team. And turning 14 years old is Isaac. Happy birthday to you. Lots of love from your mom and dad.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Someone's a baller. Owned by a goat.
Last week's top two films duked it out again this weekend, but this time Sony Pictures' animated film Goat took the #1 spot, earning another $17 million, bringing its North American box office total to $58 million.
What should you do, Heathcliff? If you were grit.
Meanwhile, Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights brought in another $14 million domestically to finish in second place for the weekend. The unconventional adaptation of Emily Bronte's classic novel is doing well overseas, so far earning $151 million globally. Hollywood arrived in London Sunday for the BAFTA Awards, the British equivalent of the Academy Awards, which is often considered a precursor to who will take home an Oscar next month. Will and Kate were also in attendance. Ryan Coogler's Sinners took home 3 trophies, including wins for Best Supporting Actress and Original Screenplay. But Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another dominated the evening, sweeping up 6 awards, including Best Supporting Actor for Sean Penn and the big prize of the night, Best Film. And happy birthday to Emily Blunt. The Devil Wears Prada and Quiet Place actress is turning 43. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
All right, let's go over to Pure Country 92.7, find out what's happening. Did you crack the code finally, right? That happened?
We cracked the code. Okay. We were able to give away that $1,500 on a Friday there. Went into a blitz mode that took one person in the blitz, so it was nice and quick. Now, this one's a little less stressful. All you have to do is you're waiting for some keywords, and then you enter them online. But the prize this time is a trip for 2 to Jamaica, gorgeous Sandals Resort, and we are going to be giving away a trip every weekday for the next 2 weeks here. So if you missed it this morning, it's Monday. We're all a little banged up after the weekend, and we won't talk about what happened yesterday morning. But if you missed the first code word at 6 o'clock, that was luxury. So you're entering luxury at purecountry927.ca. That is an entry. And then the next one will be at 8 a.m. and then every 2 hours right till 6 p.m. Your chance to get that trip for 2 to Jamaica.
Wow, it's still cold out there, so make sure you bundle up like this girl did.
Born of cold and winter air and mountain rain combining. Born of cold.
I thought it was a horse.
Daryl goes, is that a horse?
It looks like a horse.
It's like a pony. Freezing and blizzarding. Oh my goodness, layered up from head to toe.
It's a Doberman.
Yeah. Well, put a saddle on it, it'll become a horse.
All right, well, now to a dog who wants to be taken out. All you have to do is call the desk and ask for Benny. The dapper dog will come straight to your room and is there for you to take out on a walk or to stay in and cuddle. He's a guest favorite, of course, at the Dominion Hill County Inn in New Brunswick, obviously.
You just called down, I'd like a dog to go for a walk with?
Yeah.
Oh.
Gets everybody outside. It seems like the dog loves it. It's a win-win.
What a dream. Oh, JD, very quickly.
All right, we have a mom hack for you this morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think it speaks for itself.
Why not? You want some quiet time?
I was in Alberta last week just visiting my mother, and I didn't do this to my daughter, but my daughter did crawl into her dog's little kennel. So I didn't do it, but she crawled in herself.
Serenity now. We're back after this. Welcome to Monday, February 23rd.
You feel like a war zone. The intersections are blocked with burned out vehicles, and you hear bangs and you don't know where they're coming from.
Canadians stranded in Mexico this morning are being told to stay indoors and keep a low profile.
We are asking New Yorkers to avoid all non-essential travel.
A powerful nor'easter slamming the U.S. Northeast and moving into Atlantic Canada this morning. And Valerie Malte and Stephen Dubois carried the maple leaf with pride in the closing ceremonies of the Winter Games. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Keeleen. Thanks for starting your Monday with us.
We had a workout yesterday. We took the kids to Climbers.
Yeah.
The Lindor Playground in Regina, if you're familiar. Boy, oh boy.
Hey.
Mine slept like logs.
Oh, mine never sleeps. But what was up with my daughter? I'm trying to go to the slide with her. She says, no. But then Daryl comes up and she reaches for your hand.
Yeah.
What was that about?
I don't know. Oh, I'm affable, I guess. I don't know. She's like, sure, strange man, let's
traitor.
go. Why not? Let's go. Let's do some news. We shelter in place. That's the message Canadians are getting in Puerto Vallarta this morning, who have been left stranded in a wave of violence after the country's most wanted drug cartel leader was killed.
The sky was dark with smoke. There were bangs going on, explosions, and gunfire.
A shelter-in-place order is in effect with all taxi and rideshare services suspended, meaning people at the resorts there are stranded. The airports have shut down and Canadian airlines are not flying in. Violence erupted after Jalisco cartel leader El Mencho was killed by the Mexican army. This comes 1 year after U.S. President Donald Trump listed the group as a terrorist organization. The cartel is now retaliating across the Jalisco region, trying to block military operations with car fires, roadblocks, and shootouts. One of our colleagues at CP24 is on vacation in Puerto Vallarta and talks about what he's been seeing.
The beaches are open nearby, but there aren't too many people down there, so I suppose word has spread. But you know, you can tell that something is happening. There's black smoke you can see rising in the distance at several points around on the horizon. And the lobby is just absolutely jam-packed where I am, with tourists whose flights have been canceled, people who are trying to rebook.
Canada has updated its travel advisory to Mexico. WestJet, Air Canada, Flair Airlines, Air Transat, and Porter Airlines have all canceled or diverted flights headed to that area. In the meantime, travelers say airlines have been helping people rebook flights and hotels have been extending people's stays. Major airports in Canada are warning travelers that Nexus and global pre-entry pre-clearance programs for U.S.-bound flights are suspended this morning. Toronto Airport, Montreal, Vancouver, Calgary, asking passengers traveling through U.S. Customs to allow for extra time to pass through security checkpoints. Most airports have not explained the reason for the closure, but Vancouver International notes on its website the programs are suspended because of partial U.S. government shutdowns. Nexus allows pre-screened travelers faster processing when entering the U.S. and Canada with dedicated kiosks at airports. New York City has declared a state of emergency and a travel ban this morning.
Had it with the snow. This winter has been too cold, too snowy, too miserable. I'm ready for it to be over.
Massachusetts, Delaware, and Rhode Island have also declared states of emergency. Officials say this could be the most powerful nor'easter in almost a decade. There are almost 60 million people under weather warnings right across the region right now. There are nearly 200,000 customers without power in the U.S. Northeast. More than 5,000 flights have been canceled today. Full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Tax season is now officially open, and the Canada Revenue Agency is hoping its revamped services will help. The CRA says taxpayers should have an easier time this year after facing criticism for long wait times and in some cases some bad advice from representatives. The agency underwent government-ordered service improvement plans focusing on addressing call center delays. It now has a streamlined website, hired more call center workers, and rejigged standards for accuracy, they say. Many of the updates center around the CRA My account. For example, those locked out of their account can now access via security questions instead of calling the helpline and staying on hold. A Prince Albert florist has a sponsored result on Google, has used her business's name as a keyword without permission. Jasmine Peltier reports.
Stacey Coburn is the co-owner of a Prince Albert flower shop called Sentiments Floral. She says a sponsored ad was brought to her attention in December by customers who had ordered from a different store by mistake.
If this continues, then we're going to have no other choice but to pursue it legally, which I mean, I would prefer not to do. I mean, it's a simple request. They just simply have to stop using my name.
She says customers who performed a Google search for Sentiments Floral were coming up with a sponsored result with Sentiments Floral in the headline, but the link brought customers to the website for Burkett's Floral, another florist in Prince Albert.
Google has told me that if they had chosen the word sentiments, it would have been the correct spelling of sentiments, because my business name has a unique spelling behind it where we've put a C behind the S for scent.
Coburn provided CTV with a screenshot she says is of the ad in question. Burkett's partnered with a Canadian company called Blumex and is linked as the Prince Albert partner on the Blumex website. Blumex's head of retail provided a statement saying it does not control the exact search terms customers type into Google or the way Google chooses to display ads. The statement goes on to say Burkett's Floral is visible on the ad, and it doesn't see how a customer on the website with Burkett's Floral name and branding plainly displayed could believe they're ordering from a different business. Marketing experts say the best way for consumers to make sure they're on the right website is to look beyond sponsored results.
If you go below the sponsored links, that's where the organic search comes in, and that's where you can really look at potentially who's the most popular out there with other consumers.
Coburn says the ad is not currently running, and she hopes it won't come back and cause any confusion for customers. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
And Jeremy, a popular festival returned to Wanaskewin on Saturday.
Yeah, Daryl, the Kona Festival. It's a day-long event, an opportunity to learn more about Indigenous culture and teachings offered throughout the winter. Hallie Mandrick checked it out.
In spite of frigid temperatures, visitors bundled up and explored the grounds of Wanaskewin Heritage Park to learn more about those who lived off of the land for generations.
Indigenous people lived on the Northern Plains year-round, so it doesn't matter whether it's plus 30 or minus 30, you are living out on the land, and there's a lot of things that we do for entertainment while we're out there.
Wanaskewin's Kona Winter Festival has been an annual event since 2018. Kona is a celebration of Indigenous culture and an opportunity to take in some land-based winter teachings.
Wintertime is a time for story, it's a time for gathering, and so this is the embodiment of that, right? So I think normally we kind of get in our groove, we get in our rut, and getting outside maybe not as much, and so this is a real encouragement to see what else is out there.
Those in attendance could try out dog sledding, listen to storytelling, and enjoy some bison meat smoked over a fire, in addition to many other activities. Trails, galleries, and Teepee Village were all open for visitors to explore. McDonald says the festival is about both education and entertainment.
Maybe you're not familiar with some of the ways that, as you say, that people would have survived here. It's a little chillier today, and so we do talk about that in a number of different programs that we're offering, but there's also opportunities to get out, be active, and as I say, have some fun.
Tate says she's hopeful that those who come to enjoy the festival leave with a greater appreciation for the history of the land.
It's been a gathering place for over 6,000 years. Basically, as soon as people could live in this valley, they did. And so I really hope that they take home that sense of gathering, that, again, we're all treaty people. We're all in this land together.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Daryl, hockey fans waking up this morning to realize, oh no, the nightmare was real.
Yeah, the bars opened up early to watch the game, though.
How are you guys? This is the lineup. This is the 6 a.m. lineup for the hockey game.
There you go, true Canadian fashion, walking into Regina's Barley Mill Brew Pub over the weekend. Bright and early, Saskatoon Shark Club opened just hours after closing the night before. I saw a lot of people at Leo's downtown in Regina. They gave people an opportunity to watch together.
People are really intense about the game, so there's a lot of ohs and ah.
I'm so stressed out.
First the Jays, now this.
And how are you feeling?
Terrible.
Terrible. Silver for Canada in a sense, shared sense of what could have been. Team Canada leaves Italy with 21 medals in total. Our athletes won 5 gold, 7 silver, 9 bronze. The Milano Cortina Paralympics will begin on March 6th. We have that to look forward to. The next Winter Olympics will happen in 2030 in the French Alps. The craziest sport I saw, Keelan, I was mesmerized by this thing, this new ski mountaineering thing where they have to run up the hill and ski part and cross country. It was wild.
So we'll see you in 4 years.
Yeah, I'm going to start training today.
Okay, can't wait for that. Let's turn our attention to the weather picture here. It's not a bad start to the day. It's just a little bit chilly, but that's what is to be expected, rather, for this time of year. We're at -15 in Regina. We are seeing some winds, although those winds have gone down since the last time we took a look at them. They're currently coming in at 35 kilometers per hour. A few flakes in the area. We're not really talking about those for the morning, though. Mainly once this part of the system moves away, we're talking about some snow on the way for later in the afternoon and early evening hours. In Saskatoon, minus 16 right now, a mix of sun and cloud, and we are seeing winds coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look, though, at this radar and satellite, because we have seen some snow in the province overnight and then into the early morning hours. Basically everywhere where you're seeing that snow falling on your radar right now is the places that the highway hotline is reporting this morning has partly covered roads. So take it easy out there this morning. Here is a current look at where that system is at. So mainly falling north of Prince Albert there. Into the early afternoon, we see that part of the system disappear. Another piece of system coming in from Alberta, though. So it's going to start in areas right in between Saskatoon and Regina. Saskatoon could start seeing some flakes around 3 p.m. And then Regina and Yorkton going to be seeing it later on into the afternoon and early evening hours down through Estevan as well. What you're looking at on your screen right now is about 11:30 p.m. before that system finally makes its way out of the province. We are talking about a very small amount of precipitation on the way for Tuesday morning as well. You can see that right around Swift Current. Today's forecast with the temperatures looking right around the seasonal average in areas in central Saskatchewan, minus 14 for the Battle Fords, minus 12 for Saskatoon, minus 13 in Prince Albert. Again, we're talking about some flakes likely in the later parts of the afternoon. Minus 2 for Regina, 1 degree though for Moose Jaw, mainly cloudy, 5 degrees in Swift Current. We could see just a little bit more of that sunshine peeking through those clouds. Minus 2 expected for Weyburn and Estevan with that mix of sun and clouds. 7-day forecast looking like a bit of a roller coaster. Minus 13 tomorrow for Regina, so we are dropping down, and then minus 1 on Wednesday, so getting right back up into those positive temperatures for many places in the province on Thursday, 3 degrees with that mix of sun and cloud. But we are talking about the winds going up on Friday quite significantly, and we could be seeing gusts up to about 50 kilometers per hour in both Regina and Saskatoon. So keep that in mind. In Saskatoon, though, minus 13 tomorrow, up to 0 degrees on Wednesday, 2 degrees on Thursday. All right, let's take a look at this rural forecast. There's quite a few areas in the province that are expecting some flurries this afternoon, likely later into the afternoon, though. Lloydminster, minus 15 with some flakes, minus 12 in Watrous, and minus 10 for Wynyard. Down towards the south, seeing some positive temperatures, 9 degrees expected for Maple Creek, mainly cloudy there, though. 4 degrees for East End, 4 degrees for Rockland, 5 degrees for Coronach, and minus 6 over in Carlisle, with a little bit more of that sunshine poking through those clouds. Let's take a look at Cudworth, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. We're looking at an expected daytime high of minus 12. Scattered flurries into the later parts of the afternoon, and northwest winds could be peaking around 30 kilometers per hour.
50 years ago this week, the song Love Will Keep Us Together by the Captain and Tennille won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year. The song had been a smash hit, topping the charts for 4 weeks. It was written by Neil Sedaka, and the music critics say the song's sense of optimism and reassurance resonated in a time of political and social upheaval. Talking me down, here with your heart, and you won't hear a sound, just shout, 'cause I really love you. Stop, I'll be thinking of you.
The crew is back. Woody and Buzz reuniting for a new Toy Story movie.
It's been too long, cowboy.
What are you, some sort of old man toy?
What?
She thinks you're old because you're bald, Woody. Bonnie needs help from someone at least from the same century.
June, and this time around, the toys are taking on technology. In the latest trailer, a sleek new tablet named LilyPad is introduced, which captures Bonnie's attention and leaves the toys untouched. Oh. It also teases long-awaited reunion between Woody and Buzz after Woody decided to leave the gang to help lost toys find new homes at the end of Toy Story 4.
I was hoping that this video would show the part that I saw online of the trailer teaser that showed the glare off his bald spot, and all the toys are all squinting. And my husband, who is bald, by the way, was saying, "Oh no, they gave him a bald spot."
Oh, poor Tyler, every day.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Every
that's
day's
what I
an
was talking
adventure.
about. There it is.
Every day's an adventure.
Whoa.
Let's get over to our question of the day.
Yeah, so a few answers so far. Man, I go away for 1 week and
We
you guys
change everything.
add all these crazy transitions.
You're welcome.
All right, we're asking you, what is your most memorable sports heartbreak? A few great answers so far. Not great, I shouldn't say that. Heartbreaking answers so far. Blue Jays in the World Series last
gonna
year.
come up a lot.
Kristen, yeah.
There's Jeremy's answer, the old 13th man.
Yeah, that was the one that Jeremy said was going to get a lot of answers today. Tanya agreeing with you there, Jeremy. And then, of course, Sheldon bringing up recent history.
Yep.
My heart was breaking with the Women's Canada loss to the USA. And, of course, when Men's Canada team lost to the USA.
That one was cool. The women's game, I was over at Pro Hockey Life, and everybody in the store was stopped and just staring at the little makeshift Jumbotron scoreboard that they got going on over there. So it was nice to see the engagement in female sports.
I mean, I don't even typically watch sports, but I was watching that game, and it was upsetting when we lost. But we want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen. Let us know, what's the most memorable sports heartbreak for you?
Hello, Laura Dyken here inside the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. For that, let's head to the West Coast, Los Angeles, and a little golf in the final round of the Genesis Invitational. Here's Tommy Fleetwood on the par 4 15, 173 yards out. And guess where it's going to end up? Slam dunk. It's so much sweeter when it goes straight in. Incredible shot from the Englishman. That is your must-see moment. Very deserving from Sunday. Well, tonight on TSN, NBA fans, you are in luck. It's Wemby and the Spurs taking on the East-leading Detroit Pistons. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And that does it for us here inside the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great rest of the day.
Mexico overtook Canada in 2025 as the largest market for U.S. merchandise exports for the first time since the North American Free Trade Agreement launched in 1994, while simultaneously extending its run as the biggest supplier of goods to the U.S. to a third straight year, according to data from the U.S. Census Bureau. Mexico now accounts for 15.6% of total U.S. two-way trade flows, placing it ahead of Canada at 12.8%. Canada's aviation regulator issued certificates for some Gulfstream jet models after U.S. President Donald Trump complained the country had refused to greenlight the aircraft and threatened tariffs and other measures in retaliation. So-called type certificates, which Canada uses when a product meets airworthiness standards, were issued for the Gulfstream G7 G500 and the G7 G600 on February 15th, according to documents published by Transport Canada. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, time for your Monday morning mystery. Markers ready? 3 clues in the queue. Clue number 1, I should tell you it's a game. It was originated in 16th century Scotland.
Oh, okay.
It debuted at the Winter Olympics in 1924 and was dropped until it became a sport again in 1998 in Nagano.
Ooh.
So think back to 98. Canada is the most decorated nation in this particular sport. So it's a winter sport, 1928. Or 1924, rather.
Scotland is the big
Scotland's a bit
giveaway.
I am totally guessing here.
I also made Janelle take out her curly cord last week, all week, so that she couldn't cheat. Okay, I'm going to go with curling.
I'm going with curling.
We're all going with curling? Okay, let's see. The answer
Curling.
is...
Oh.
Curling.
Indeed.
Today is Curling is Cool Day.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to our Canadian curlers,
Sure it is.
including Ben Hebert, who won a gold medal. He's from right here in Regina.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, it's time for a look at your school day forecast. This is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina or Saskatoon, it's a cool start to the day, -15 in Regina. Some winds right now coming in around 35 kilometers per hour, so those are elevated in Saskatoon. Not so much seeing those winds, but it is cool at -16. Lunchtime in Regina will be at about -8, and then getting up to -2, that expected daytime high by that 3 o'clock final bell. In Saskatoon, -13 at that lunchtime hour, and by final bell only getting up 1 notch there, -12. Could be seeing just a few flakes at that time though. Over to the gas prices now, where we find the common price in Regina sitting at $127.9, and the lowest you might find is $102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price $119.9, and you might find it for as low as $116.9. In the farm markets this morning, we find the street price of canola at $625.73 per ton, and the futures price at $674.30 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat at $266.27 per ton. The Canadian dollar trading up this morning. It's currently at 73.05 cents US. Coming up after the break, a summer landmark receives demolition orders. Stay with us for the details.
Welcome back to Your Morning Saskatchewan. It is just about 7:30 on your Monday. MPs return to the House of Commons today, with former Conservative Matt Jenneru taking a seat on the government side for the first time. The Alberta MP defected to the Liberals last week after months after announcing he was going to leave politics. Jenneru says he did some reflecting over the holidays about staying on as an MP. He then cited the Prime Minister's speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos in January as a reason for making the jump. Jenneru is now the third Conservative that has crossed the floor to join the Liberals since November. And the Conservatives, for their part, are planning to get the House of Commons to vote on a motion to review health benefits offered to asylum seekers and look for potential savings. The motion will be presented tomorrow. It requests that only emergency life-saving medical services be covered for people appealing rejected asylum claims. The party tells the Canadian Press the rationale for the motion comes from rising costs associated with the interim federal health program. It covers primary medical care for refugees and asylum seekers and some supplementary care like dental and vision care. The parliamentary budget officer reported that program costs have jumped almost fourfold since 2020 to nearly $900 million a year. Saskatchewan's lone MP, Buckley Belanger, visited Regina on Sunday to announce the federal government's support for a clean technology composting facility planned for the Cowessess First Nation. Now, a unique waste disposal system was designed to help enhance food production on the First Nation, which will turn organic waste into compost and fertilizer, aiming to boost greenhouse and agricultural production. In support of the initiative, the Government of Canada investing $855,000 to coincide with the waste disposal bin. Cowessess will also install and operate a growing dome for a year-round food production, feeding people in their community as well as Pasqua First Nation.
The prairie provinces is the food basket of the world. So if we use that history and that ability to grow food, then we incorporate a lot of the First Nations needs and aspirations as well. It all leads to success and leads to food supply, food sovereignty, and most important, food affordability.
Partnership with B Nature Biotech and Pro Metal Industries, the waste disposal bin will divert organic waste from landfills and keep materials safe from prairie weather conditions and wildlife. White City, Saskatchewan, extending its borders to allow for future growth. 3 sections of agricultural land being annexed from the RM of Edenwold that would allow White City to nearly double its population. Wayne Mantica with why.
White City is adding 504 acres of land to the east of the community to create a subdivision called The Meadows. It's largely pasture land situated between the Trans-Canada and number 48 highways. The mayor expects the land will be used primarily for residential purposes.
This expansion, to the east of White City really supports our long-term growth strategy to ensure we have the appropriate land supply to accommodate, future residential and potentially some commercial development as well.
The land is being annexed from the RM of Edenwold through a long-standing agreement that will see White City grow to the east and Emerald Park to the west. It follows recent controversy over proposed development of rental townhouses in the town center. The newest land being annexed will be developed in a style similar to what White City has traditionally been known for.
Are just, the same as kind of what current White City is, right? The larger lots, larger driveways, still, maintaining that small, unique community vibe that everyone's became so accustomed to. So
it could take 2 decades to develop the additional land and for an estimated 3,500 residents to move in. That would nearly double White City's current population and take the community from being a town to a city. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, White City.
Thank you, Wayne. RCMP and Tumbler Ridge are now looking into several threats after the deadly mass school shooting. Police say they are aware of threats being made against certain people in the community, but investigators have not been able to verify or corroborate those threats. A family of one of the victims says they've been forced to leave their home. They also have canceled their daughter's funeral because they are being harassed. Police say they are taking the threats seriously after adding safety plans in place. There's still no movement between Iran and the U.S., and the EU's foreign policy chief is calling for de-escalation of tensions.
We don't need another war in this region. We already have a lot, so we have stressed the diplomatic way out of this.
Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump is questioning why Iran hasn't surrendered and made a deal. Steve Witkoff told Fox News on Saturday that Trump was curious about Iran's position after he had warned of a limited military strike if a deal couldn't be reached on Tehran's nuclear program. Iran's foreign minister says he believes there is still a chance the dispute can be solved diplomatically, adding negotiators are working on the elements of a deal. The provincial government has ordered the demolition of the Kenosi super slides near Moose Mountain Provincial Park. In an order in council posted last week, the government reached an agreement with a Saskatoon company to demolish the former slide site at a cost not exceeding $227,000. First opened in the 1980s, the super slides haven't been open in any capacity in more than 5 years after the SAHA canceled its operating license in 2020, citing deficiencies. The Ministry of Parks, Culture and Sport said after years of sitting unused, the abandoned park has deteriorated and become a significant public safety risk. Demolition work will begin soon and is expected to be complete by the spring. A lot of people are going to miss those. The 2026 U Sports and Canadian Collegiate National Curling Championship wrapped up in the Queen City on Saturday. Regina Cougars men's failed to make the playoffs in the weekend, while the women had a shot at a bronze medal. There you go, in a rematch of this year's Canada West Conference Championship, the Cougars lost to the Alberta Pandas, 8-2 in the bronze medal game. Came in fourth, however, the Regina sees it as a successful weekend.
As much as we wanted to bring home a medal or a trophy and the Red Jackets, we're just so proud of ourselves. We're a throw-together team, basically. We all have our own competitive teams, and we're just so happy with how well we performed all week. It just increases our goals. Our goals this week was to make playoffs, and we got there. Next year, it's going to be bring home a medal.
In the end, Memorial University took home women's gold. That team also includes Brad Gushu's daughter, Haley, while the University of Calgary Dinos won the men's side. Both teams will represent Canada at the FISU World Winter Games. Red Deer women and Humber College men won their respective collegiate nationals. One of the most popular video game franchises in history, marking a major milestone. You know that sound. This weekend marked 40 years since the first Legend of Zelda game debuted in Japan. Since then, it's gained a massive worldwide fan base across several different games, selling more than 150 million copies. There's also a movie adaptation scheduled for release in May of next year. Congratulations to all those curlers who are in the Queen City. And I was at a send-off for Kelly Knapp, who is going to the Briar for Saskatchewan at the Cali. My goodness, a lot of people showed up for that, and we wish him the best of luck.
Absolutely. Best of luck and congratulations so far. Let's turn our attention now to the Morning View. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. Of course, it's a chilly start to the day, as we've been talking about this morning. Right now in Regina, we are still at -15. Some higher wind gusts we saw earlier on this morning. Right now, they're coming in at 35 kilometers per hour, which has reduced from what we were seeing earlier on this morning. Still going to be seeing some stronger wind gusts throughout the early parts of the day and then tapering off for the later parts of the afternoon. Of course, that's when we're expecting to see some more snow. So you can't really get it all. -16 right now to wake us up in Saskatoon. A few clouds and the sun is starting to make its way up, not seeing as much of those winds in the central zone. Now let's take a look at these hot and cold spots. They haven't really moved a ton since the last time that we took a look out there, other than Maple Creek. Still our hot spot now sitting at 3.0 degrees. The Saskatchewan cold spot is Stony Rapids, -27.5. The Canadian hot spot is still White Rock, BC. That has gone up just slightly by a couple decimal points since the last time we took a look at it. They're now at 7.9 degrees. And the Canadian cold spot is still Eureka at -44.8. Let's turn our attention now to those current temperatures. So we just talked about Stony Rapids being our cold spot. La Ronge, though, at -21, -17 in Nipawin, -21 in Hudson Bay, and -19 in Spiritwood. Down towards the south, still not seeing as much of that blue color as we'd like to see. We're still seeing a lot of that pink, indicating really cool temperatures out there to start the day. -11 in Assiniboia, -16 in Weyburn and Estevan, -19 in Yorkton right now, and -15 in Wynyard. Later on into the afternoon, we are talking about some flakes on the way for a lot of places in northern Saskatchewan and central Saskatchewan, likely earlier on in the day. And then later on into the afternoon and evening hours, we'll start to see some of those flakes in the south, specifically down through the southeast into the overnight hours. That's why you're not seeing that icon for Weyburn and Estevan for the afternoon. We're seeing that temperature peak around -2, and then the snow will be coming overnight. Your 5-day forecast showing temperatures dropping for Regina tomorrow to about -13, and then improving for Wednesday, -1 up to 3 degrees by Thursday. Friday dropping down to -13, and the wind gusts could be surpassing 50 kilometers per hour on that day. And that's not just exclusive to Regina. We will also be seeing the higher wind gusts in areas around Saskatoon on Friday as well. Before that, though, -13 tomorrow, 0 degrees on Wednesday, and 2 degrees on Thursday. A kitty in Alabama getting a lot of attention because of a birth defect that's given him a little something extra. He's all ears, literally. Lisa Crane introduces us to Dobby.
Everyone thinks their pet is pretty special.
He is a special cat.
But Dobby, a 7-month-old black cat, is 1 in a million with a rare genetic mutation that'll make you smile from ear to ear.
He is unique with his extra ears.
Stephanie Brown is fostering this irresistible kitty who also has a short curled tail caused by his condition and a severe underbite that's going to require surgery. But once he heals from that, he'll be adopted. Brown says she'll be sad to see him go, but knows some family will be lucky to have him.
I hope he gets a home with a kid. He loves children, and again, that's something that's a bit more unusual for cats. He really has responded so positively. He's more comfortable with my daughter than adults, and so I hope he gets a kid.
Brown has a soft spot for unique cats like her own pet, Phoebe. She has cerebellar hypoplasia, a neurological disorder.
I think the differences are completely beautiful. I think it's a matter of embracing all of those differences and understanding, just like people, every creature, every animal is going to have their own unique personality, presentation, conditions, appearance.
February almost at its end, but it's not too late to learn about some of the events happening for Indigenous Storytelling Month. We continue that conversation and share stories. Dave Luce is with the Saskatchewan Science Centre with us this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Let's tell us about some of the things that you guys have got going over there, because I know you do a wonderful job of connecting with the community.
Yeah, for sure. So on February 27th at the Saskatchewan Science Centre, we're going to have lots of activities going on. It's going to be free access for people to come from 5 until 9 p.m. To check out our exhibit floor. We have a new traveling exhibit that's going to be there there for a while that's all about space. And then we have a few other things happening. The Royal Astronomical Society of Canada is going to be giving tours of the Callium Observatory on the top floor. We have Nanan Academy is going to be running some activities related to robotics and the seven grandfather teachings. And then we also have some stargazing that we have in our small theater. You can just do a virtual tour of the stars a little bit with us as well.
What's the importance of telling those stories?
I think so. This whole month is kind of dedicated to Indigenous Storytelling Month, and there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience that's kind of contained in those stories, and it's just a beautiful way to share that information and explore that knowledge.
How can we get there?
So at the Science Center, I mean, you can come check us out like you always would at all three centers between the Science Center, the Mama Wayatatin Center, and the Neil Balkwell Center. We have free buses going all around the city. So if you go to one space, you can hop on a bus and you can get all the way around and back to check out all three of the centers for free.
How's the reaction been?
How's the reaction been?
Yeah.
But this is the third year now that we were doing it, and it's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of people out. We see a lot of people who don't often come out to these events just because it's at a different time than we're usually open, and it's free for people to come and see. So it's a lot of fun. It gives you a chance to check out a lot of cool things.
And that's really what it's all about, right? Connecting with people and getting people engaged.
Absolutely. That's our whole goal is to ignite curiosity, just get people curious about what's going on in the world.
If I've never been to the Science Center, what kind of environment am I walking into?
It's a giant museum of science, but hands-on. So you don't have to just look at everything. Everything is kind of designed to be played with and touched and everything. So it's a big, fun center where there's lots of things to do to explore science and how the world works.
Give us the hours and how to sign up.
For the event, it's open from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. on Friday, February the 27th, and there's no sign-up. It's free. You can just come on out, check us out, or head to the Neil Balkwell Center or the Mama Wayatatin Center.
Scientifically, the best price, AskScienceCenter.com for more information as well.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Club 66 Social Dance is on February 27th at 7:30 p.m. It's being held at the Regina 55 Plus Community Center on the 2100 block of Winnipeg Street. For more information, you can call 306-529-6381. To submit your event to our community, you can visit our website at ctvregina.ca and click Community Calendar.
It's February 23rd, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a belated birthday wish going out to Hank. He turned 10 years old this weekend. We hope you had a great day from your friends and family. Another belated birthday wish going out to Mel. He just turned 82 years old. Lots of love coming your way from your wife, Carol, and the rest of your family. And here's a cool milestone. These siblings are all celebrating in these couple of days. Georgia turned 13 yesterday, and Tegan and Tia are turning 17 years old today. Happy birthday to all of you. Enjoy your birthdays. And celebrating today is Jimmy on his 50th birthday. Happy birthday to you. Have an awesome day. This shout out coming from your hockey team. And turning 14 years old is Isaac. Happy birthday to you. Lots of love coming your way from your mom and dad.
Stones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Let's head back over to the Hotel Saskatchewan and check in again with Janelle Lippi ahead of TeleMiracle's 50th year.
Hi, good morning. That's right. More excitement is to come in this time around. I've got Jojo Mason and Jeffrey Straker with me. We're going to talk all things TeleMiracle. Let's start with you, Jojo. Tell me a little bit about what you're most looking forward to this year.
Oh, my goodness. The fact that I get to be a part of it this year is incredible. I've had a bunch of years of memories sitting with my family watching the whole thing. So now that I get to be a part of it, being on the stage with a live audience this year is going to be incredible. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm excited for you. First year is is huge. Now, Jeffrey, let's turn over to you. What are you most looking forward to?
This is my 15th year getting to do the show, so I'm pretty excited. And this year, I mean, I'm always really looking forward to the Saskatchewan talent. They come from every corner of the province, performing live on the show, bringing donations from their communities, while those phones are ringing on the stage with all those generous folks calling in from all across the province. And this year we've got 2 extra hours of the show, with it starting at 7 o'clock, so more chance for those generous folks to donate. The energy is going to be high. It's the 50th year. Can't wait for all this to happen.
A lot of excitement. 50 years is a huge milestone. Now, let's talk a little bit about personally what you're most looking forward to being your first year. What are you hoping to see out of this?
I think just being able to be a part of something that makes a difference. You know, it makes me feel like what I'm doing makes a difference. And you guys have been doing an incredible job over the last 50 years. And yeah, we've been going 50 years strong. So I get to be a part of it this year. I'm excited to raise that money, answer some phones, and yeah, let's go.
Absolutely. All right, and before we wrap things up, 15 years, that's huge. How have you seen this evolve over those years?
To me, this thing is the annual group hug of Saskatchewan. Like, it's this weekend where the entire province comes together, rallies around this cause, and that's stayed the same through all 50 years. You know, the shows change a little bit throughout the years. It's, you know, the totals are a little more technological, the set's a little more razzle-dazzle, but the heart of it is still the same. It's generosity, it's caring, it's coming together to make a difference for people in need, and that's the thing I love about it.
Absolutely. Tons to love. Thank you both so much for being here. I'll let you get back to breakfast. It smells delicious. Once again, 50 years of TeleMiracle.
You go and answer the phones at TeleMiracle sometimes, right? And you get on the line, you're like, I'm sorry. Every time for me, I'm sorry. The Japanese drummer's just fired up. Can you just wait like 3 minutes?
It's so loud, and like I'm awful at hearing and being on the phone at the best of times too. But yeah, there's just a lot of what?
Pardon?
What is your address? Where are you from?
50 or 15?
And then my spelling is also atrocious. So like everything of their town and their name, that's spelled wrong. Yeah, I'm not a good phoner for TeleMiracle. I'll donate, and that is my contribution to the event. But always a great time. We'll be ringing those phones this weekend, and luckily I won't be answering them. So that's some good news there. Some other good news is the Pure Country Passport is back. 8 o'clock, we have your second keyword of the day. So have us right with the iHeartRadio app. All you have to do, enter that keyword at purecountry927.ca, and we are giving away daily trips for 2 Sandals Resort in Jamaica, and this first one could be yours.
Steve Lockjaw just attacked my home, and I cannot remember for the life of my only child the answer to your question.
One battle after another has dominated another award show, this time the British Academy's BAFTAs. The darkly comic action epic won 6 awards, including Best Film and Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson.
Connie Glass, you're a spy. Nothing gets past the feds, does it? Come on, we got work to do.
CIA stars Tom Ellis as an operative who reluctantly teams with an FBI agent played by Nick Gelfus. Ellis says one thing that drew him to the show was filming in New York.
Shooting out in the street in New York is a real experience, and one that I've never experienced before in my career. In that, normally when you're shooting outside, the area that you're shooting is locked off and that it's not open to the public. We don't really have that luxury in New York because nobody stops for anything. So, you know, there are scenes in the show where, you know, Nick and I are weaving our way through public and traffic and people taking selfies, and it's all real, essentially.
CIA debuts today on CBS and Paramount Plus. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
You're going to feel this pretty deeply. A mom hack for when you just need a break. Like a caged animal.
Well, sometimes you feel very over just like having tiny humans coming into your bubble, and they're always like, like scratching at your face and pulling your hair and just, hey, look at that. She has her own bubble now.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her.
Arya's deep into dad mode right now, so Sarah's just like, yes, let's go.
Oh, man. Sadie is not
Enjoy
ready
it
that
while
stage.
it lasts, bro.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Right?
Daughters.
So fast. Then pretty soon before I know it, they'll be on TV with Jeremy being like, I came to this job because I get out of here earlier.
Yeah, because it's take your kid to work
You've seen
day.
it firsthand.
Yeah. I get to leave faster.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. It's still cold out there. Make sure you bundle up just like this girl.
Born of cold and winter air and mountain rain combining.
And no, contrary to what Daryl said earlier in the show, this is not a horse.
Saddle
it is
it
a
up,
Doberman.
Saddle it up. Let's go for a ride.
Looks like a horse.
Yeah, layered
Yeah.
up for her morning walk, as you should be layering up this morning.
Chilly, chilly. We're back after this. It's Monday, February 23rd.
You feel like a war zone. The intersections are blocked with burned out vehicles, and you hear bangs and you don't know where they're coming from.
Violence erupting in Mexico. Canadians now stranded and being told to keep a low profile.
We are asking New Yorkers to avoid all non-essential travel.
Powerful nor'easter slamming the U.S. Northeast, and it's moving into Atlantic Canada today. Valerie Malte and Stephen Dubois carried the Maple Leaf with pride as they led Team Canada in the closing ceremonies of the Winter Olympics. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Monday.
Welcome back to Kayleen, and it's been a morning for me of constant harassment.
No, he just
My
said,
earbuds.
we were talking about Alberta. He said Bassano, and I said, do you mean Bassano?
You don't have my earbuds here?
No, because I took them off and I put them on my desk and said,
my earbuds.
I have to untangle those later on after the show. It's going to take me 20 minutes.
They are tangled like Christmas lights. That is fair. Let's get your forecast in just a minute. We'll begin with that developing news overnight and enough of our shenanigans. Violence breaking out across Mexico after the government said security forces killed the nation's most powerful cartel boss. Americans in the country, Canadians as well, being told to shelter in place. Whit Johnson leads us off.
This morning, violent unrest across Mexico, spilling into popular tourist destinations for Americans. Buildings and vehicles set on fire. Criminal groups setting up hundreds of roadblocks. The chaotic fallout after a Mexican military operation took out the leader of the most powerful cartel in the country. Officials say drug kingpin Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Mencho, the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, was among multiple cartel members killed during Sunday's operation. The White House confirming the U.S. provided intelligence to Mexican authorities to assist in the raid, though no American troops were on the ground. Security forces now patrolling the country from the air and on the streets. Plumes of billowing black smoke as gunshots ring out in the distance. The violence reaching into popular tourist hotspots like Puerto Vallarta. Flames surrounding this Costco, vehicles charred in the parking lot. In Guadalajara, bullets piercing through car doors and shattering storefront windows. The U.S. Embassy urging Americans across the country, even as far east as Cancun, to shelter in place and avoid roads.
And they're like moving us into the buildings and off of their patios. And you're starting to get information from friends that are saying, hey, the cartel just said, look, you have till 2 o'clock and nobody's safe.
Puerto Vallarta-bound flights turning around mid-air. The airport suspending all operations, passengers evacuating onto the tarmac, leaving many American citizens stranded and afraid.
We're all just under this shelter in place, told not to go anywhere, lock your doors, stay inside.
Other news this morning, a man is dead after a shocking incident early Sunday at the Florida residence of the U.S. president. Authorities say a man from North Carolina drove to the entrance of Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, where he was confronted by a sheriff's deputy and 2 Secret Service agents. They say the 21-year-old was carrying a shotgun and a fuel can.
He put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the 2 Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat.
Trump was never in danger. He was spending the weekend in Washington, but he has faced threats to his life before, including 2 assassination attempts in 2024. Travelers flying into the U.S. are being told to head to the airport early today. Nexus and Global Entry pre-clearance programs are suspended right now. The closure is being blamed on the partial U.S. government shutdown. TSA pre-check is still operating. The partial shutdown started on Valentine's Day. This closure comes on top of delays being caused by a major storm in the U.S. Northeast right now. Tax season officially open, and Canada Revenue Agency is hoping a revamped service will help you. The CRA says taxpayers should have an easier time this year after facing criticism for long wait times and in some cases bad advice from reps. The agency underwent government-ordered service improvement plans focusing on addressing call center delays. It has now streamlined, it says, its websites, hired more call center workers, and rejigged standards for accuracy. Many of the updates center around CRA My Account. You're familiar with that. For example, those locked out of their account can now get access by answering security questions instead of calling that helpline and staying on hold forever and ever and ever. It's cold. It was cold this weekend. Jeremy, in spite of frigid temperatures, visitors bundled up and explored the grounds of Wanuskewin Heritage Site to learn more about those who lived off the land for generations. Wanuskewin's Kona Winter Festival returned once again. The event is a celebration of Indigenous culture and an opportunity to take in some of the land-based winter teachings. Those in attendance could try out dog sleds, see a hide-making demonstration, and try out bison meat smoked over a teepee village.
Indigenous people lived on the Northern Plains year-round, so it doesn't matter whether it's plus 30 or minus 30, you are living out on the land, and there is a lot of things that we do for entertainment while we're out there.
The festival has been an annual event at Wanuskewin since 2018. All right, after winning 51 straight games, the streak has finally been snapped for the U of S Huskies women's basketball team.
The one here gets it up, and now the Calgary Dinos are through to the Canada West Finals. They are the ones to end the Huskies 50.
It's being called one of the biggest upsets in conference history. The Calgary Dinos beat the Huskies on Saturday, 61-58 in the Can West semifinals. Coming into the playoffs, the Huskies had not lost a game since November of 2024. They won the national championship last season and went undefeated this regular season. Even with the loss, the Huskies could still get an at-large berth into the national tournament. Gage Grassick was named a conference first-team All-Star. And Canada's men's hockey team's devastating loss was felt across the province as bars opened up early to let fans watch the game. Laura Woodward was there to see some of the misery that loves company.
With Timbits in hand, walking into Regina's Barley Mill Brew Pub.
This is the lineup. This is the 6 a.m. lineup for the hockey game.
Early morning watch parties across the city. And in Saskatoon, Shark Club opened just hours after closing the night before.
If you're going to be up this early, you might as well have a cocktail while doing it. People are really intense about the game, so there's a lot of ohs and
I'm so stressed out. Silver for Canada and a shared sense of what could have been.
First the Jays, now this.
And how are you feeling?
Terrible.
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A winter storm that's bringing heavy snow from parts of Maryland all the way up to Maine and Atlantic Canada, leading governors in the U.S. to declare states of emergency. Up to 70 million people feeling the effects of the storm far from over.
This morning, more than 40 million Americans waking up under blizzard warnings. A bomb cyclone burying parts of the mid-Atlantic and Northeast in wet, heavy snow. The storm rapidly intensifying as it crawled up the I-95 corridor on Sunday. A light, wet snow early in the day turning into a legitimate blizzard for some.
I can't believe how much snow is coming down.
The heaviest bands of snow dropping up to 3 inches per hour. Winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour. Lightning illuminating the sky in Long Branch, New Jersey with thunder snow. Snow blowing sideways on Long Island, the storm bringing multiple major cities to a standstill. Officials in 7 states declaring states of emergency.
We're taking this so seriously because literally lives are at stake.
The entire state of New Jersey under a blizzard warning for the first time in 30 years. Many schools closed, hundreds of plows on the road, drivers working around the clock. Some for more than 15 hours.
Hopefully everybody stays home and doesn't come out in this. It's not safe.
The sloppy roads were too much for this plow, overturned on Long Island. New York City Mayor Zoran Mandani banning travel until noon. Essential vehicles the only ones allowed on the roads.
A golden retriever from Moose Jaw now has the ribbons and accolades to go to prove that he's a good boy. Damian Smith reports.
Over.
This is Tuck, a 6-year-old golden retriever with some of the highest accolades a dog can receive. Trained since he was 6 weeks old, Tuck is a Grandmaster Obedience Trial champion, ranking number 4 in the country.
Down. Sit. When we're healing, he's looking at me and nothing else matters. Nothing else around him. Bombs could go off. You could drop toys. You could do whatever it is you want. And, hey, buddy. Hey. And he'll never take his eye off me.
Overs is one of Tuck's teammates along with his wife, Shelly. Gary has run obedience classes for 44 years, inspired by his first dog for the wrong reasons.
And I was telling the guys that I work with that I got this awful dog. It was running away on me. It was dragging me, jumping the fence, escaping.
While Tuck is skilled in directional jumping and scent discrimination, his golden retriever nature thrives the most in bird hunting.
He loves to be out there doing what he's bred to do. It's in his DNA to get out and retrieve ducks, and that's where he really loves to be.
The Gary Overs Canine Academy trains approximately 700 dogs per year, and the couple recommends training with your dog at least 15 minutes per day.
Obedience is always maintenance. Just because you train a dog to this level, they will get sloppy and start doing little things that they shouldn't be doing.
Your dog needs to be focused on you. Your dog needs to work around distractions without being distracted.
All that hard work for a decorated champion, and his reward is a $10 piece of plastic.
There's his ball. That's his very favorite toy right now, and that can change. But he'd run through a wall for that thing.
And Tuck won't be slowing down anytime soon. The Overs plan to continue competing with him this summer. Damian Smith, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
Good day to get out and walk your dog today?
Not bad. It is cool to start the day. Later on into the afternoon, seeing some nicer temperatures again, especially down in the southwest corner. Some positives. However, up in northern Saskatchewan and central Saskatchewan, still seeing some pretty cool temperatures later on. Minus 16 right now to wake us up in Regina. We have been seeing just a few flakes on the radar in some areas down towards the south this morning. Mostly we're just talking about the wind, though. It has gone down slightly. Earlier on, it was gusting up to about 45 kilometers per hour. Right now, we see the winds coming in at 33 kilometers per hour for Regina. In Saskatoon, not seeing those winds, so that's a pleasant start to the day. 9 kilometer per hour winds. It is minus 16 though, and the clouds have been increasing so far this morning. Let's talk about what you can expect though for the afternoon with those winds. So earlier on in the day, we're seeing them surpassing 50 kilometers per hour around the Parkland region. So Yorkton, be prepared for those winds earlier on today. Later on into the afternoon, we see them starting to disappear though, but then popping up more down in the southwest corner of the province in areas south of Swift Current. Futurecast also showing some snow today as well. So areas north of Prince Albert have already been seeing that snow falling this morning, so that's not news to you. Once that system moves out of the way, though, we are talking about another system coming in from Alberta, impacting areas around Saskatoon and Regina. It's just going to be later on into the afternoon and early evening hours. So this is at about 4:30 p.m. what you're looking at there. And then by the later parts of the evening there, we start to see it reaching Regina, Yorkton, and of course down through Estevan, also going to be seeing some of those flakes, but it's more so going to be during those overnight hours. Then we're looking forward to tomorrow morning. This is at about 5:45 a.m. We do see just a few small patches impacting areas in the southwest corner. Today's forecast with those temperatures, though, we talked about the southwest corner being the warmest. That's going to be about 6 degrees for Swift Current, 1 degree for Moose Jaw, -2 expected for Regina, Weyburn, and Estevan, -9 for Yorkton, -12 -12 for Saskatoon, and -13 for Prince Albert, -14 expected for the Battlefords with mainly cloudy skies. For our 7-day forecast, we do see temperatures dropping off tomorrow for Regina, -13 for the afternoon, getting back up to -1 for Wednesday, and then into those positive temperatures for a lot of places in the province on Thursday. 3 degrees is what you can expect in Regina, and the winds picking up once again for Friday. We're expecting those to be surpassing 50 kilometers per hour for Regina and Saskatoon. Until then, though, in Saskatoon, -13 tomorrow, 0 degrees on Wednesday, and up to 2 degrees on Thursday.
Take a look at this day in history. February 23rd, 2010, Ashley McIver won gold in the first ever Olympic women's ski cross event. February 23, 1995, U.S. President Bill Clinton addressed Canadian Parliament. And on this day in 1990, Kim Campbell became Canada's first female justice minister.
In case you missed it, this monkey and his stuffed monkey are like two peas in a pod. You see Punch over the weekend. It's a baby monkey living at a zoo near Tokyo, growing up without a family. So Punch made his stuffed orangutan his best friend. Zookeepers say Punch is now finally starting to make some friends with the other monkeys at the zoo, and he won't need his stuffy for much longer. But it was tough going for a little bit. It was almost like he was being bullied and ostracized for not being in a family, but it looks like he's starting to find his place.
Oh, this is a Disney movie. I can see it. Disney, Pixar, call me. This is going to be about the monkey who has a stuffed monkey, and he doesn't have a family, but then he goes and he finds his family.
See, he's going viral. It's all over your feed.
Yeah.
If you're talking near your phone, you're going to see it on your Instagram today.
As long as the monkey gets a happy ending.
If all else fails, you just put him in one of those warm jackets and you send him over to IKEA, just like that monkey years ago. Remember that? Yeah, it was a great monkey. Let's get over to our question of the day.
So we're asking you today, what's your most memorable sports heartbreak? And of course, Jeremy, you predicted it.
Yep.
Most of the answers coming in today talking about that 13th man. Was that, or well, no, it wasn't that for Joe. It was the 1976 Grey Cup. It was the end of an era and led to a decade of futility for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. It was worse than 2009.
Worse?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Lori saying, I agree with Jeremy, the 13th man Rider game, that was a sad loss. Over to our next answer, Steph saying, Riders 2009, 13th man penalty. And Kim agreeing, ugh, the 13th man fiasco.
As a former fan of the Montreal Expos, how about the cancellation of the 94 season when we were definitely going to win the World Series?
Yeah.
That one hurt.
That's a big one.
That one hurt.
Heather saying, watching the World Juniors final from Saskatoon, Canada losing to the U.S. Of course, you kind of have to squint a little bit. This one was a long answer.
Novel.
But yeah, she said it was an amazing experience, but I'll never forget that disappointment.
Well, thank you so much for participating. Blue Jays World Series from Christian. That makes a lot of sense. And, of course, 13th man coming up again.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays one, though, from Kristen, that was also one my husband took really hard.
Really hard.
Really hard. I think we had one other answer here from Sheldon. If we want to go to that one. There we go, saying it was just this past weekend here, Canada losing to the U.S. in both women's and men's. Very upsetting.
Well, that's a great way to start your Monday.
Yeah.
Of health news on the other side of this break.
Stays unplugged the longest wins.
What do we win?
What do you want?
I want a new computer.
Done.
This week alone, searches for unhealthy screen time are up over 1,000% on TikTok.
There comes a point where reaching for your phone isn't relaxing.
Christian Del Rosario is a full-time attorney and part-time content creator.
So at my law firm, I am the only Gen Z attorney.
And lately, she's adding one more job to the resume, screen time reducer. Del Rosario turned to Brick, which retails for $59. It's part physical device, part app. You tell it which social media platforms or apps you want it to block, then tap your phone to the brick, which blocks those apps until you physically touch your phone to the brick again.
Let's say you leave this at home. You're not going to be able to access those apps until there's physical touch between your device and the brick.
It's one of many unconventional methods Americans are implementing to get offline.
People now more than ever are trying to take back their control when it comes to how much time that they're spending on their screens.
Opal is another popular screen time savior app. Coming at you live from my phone to tell you about how much less time I'm spending on my phone since downloading the Opal app, which allows you to put time limits on specific apps on your phone at specific times of the day. My screen time is down 35.1% since I installed Opal, which reminds me I should probably get off of my phone. Whether it's Opal or brick.
I personally have found that it works, and at the end of the day, it will tell you the total number of hours or minutes that your device was bricked. I'd say on average for me, it's around 5 hours.
Experts say reducing screen time is important, no matter how you do it.
Your phone is the most powerful, addictive device that was ever created. However, we were never really trained how to use it.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Well, some people have year-round cottages or year-round cabins. Today, that's one of the subjects we're talking about with Dawson Rowley. He is a mobile mortgage specialist with Affinity Credit Union. So first of all, nice to have you back on the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So let's, first of all, secondary home. What sort of does that encompass? What falls under that umbrella?
So secondary homes are anything from cottages, cabins, vacation properties, anything that's not your primary residence, and in this case requires financing.
Okay, so when we talk about, not only the financing of things, I know there's different products out there. Does this also include things like ready to move?
Yeah, for sure. So we can set up mortgages for construction mortgages, RTMs, moving already built mobile homes onto lake properties, anything like that. So any of that stuff kind of falls into the secondary home or cabin mortgage parameters.
Now you mentioned land. Let's say can we also sort of just get if let's say I don't have an actual structure, can we set up a mortgage with regard to some? You mentioned lakefront property, but some a property, I'll call it a resort property that's not developed.
Yeah, we also do financing for bare lots as well. So if that's how you want to start your project of possibly building a cabin in the future or something like that, we can set up a mortgage on just a bare lot to give you time to get ready for your project and building a secondary home at some point.
Is there, and I have no idea, how the market fluctuates, but is there a time of year when this is the best time to sort of start thinking about dealing with this? Is there a high season, there's low season, shoulder season?
We see a lot of it in the spring and into early summer, as that's when construction can start on most of these projects. But at any time of the year can really be the time to kick it off, but the busy season is definitely spring or summer.
Now, I don't know what the rules are dealing with a primary property or secondary property. Is there a certain amount of money you have to be able to put down on a secondary property?
It all depends on the property type, but we can do most projects with as little as 5% down as an insured mortgage, but it can range on the property type depending on leased lot, owned land, different things like that.
Okay. All right, just before we go here, you're a mobile mortgage specialist. What's the mobile refer to?
Mobile means that we work outside typical hours, so it's for the people that can't always make it into the branch during the day, during work hours, so we can work kind of around your schedule rather than you coming to us.
All right. Well, once again, you can talk to Dawson or many of the other people at Affinity Credit Union about this and other subjects. So what's the best way to get in touch?
Through our website, affinitycu.ca.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
You bet.
morning, just about 8:30 on your Monday. Let's get to you headlines for this part of the hour. MPs returning to the House of Commons today, with former Conservative Matt Jenneru taking a seat on the government side for the very first time. The Alberta MP defected to the Liberals last week, months after announcing he was leaving politics. Jenneru says he did some reflecting over the holidays about staying on as an MP, and then he cited the Prime Minister's speech and Davos at the World Economic Forum in January as a reason to make the jump. Jenneru is the third Conservative to cross the floor to the Liberals since November. The Conservatives are planning to get the House of Commons to vote on a motion to review health benefits offered to asylum seekers and look for potential savings. The motion will be presented tomorrow. It also requests that only emergency life-saving medical services be covered for people appealing rejected asylum claims. The party tells the Canadian Press the rationale for the motion comes from rising costs associated with the interim federal health program. It covers primary medical care for refugees and asylum seekers and some supplementary care like dental and vision care. The Parliamentary Budget Officer reported that program costs have jumped almost fourfold since 2020 to nearly $900 million a year. Australia's Prime Minister supports any more to remove the former Prince remove the former Prince Andrew from the line of royal succession. In a letter to the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Anthony Albanese agrees with, quote, the majesty that the law must now take its full course and there must be a full, fair and proper investigation. These are grave allegations and Australians take them seriously, end quote. Last week, after Andrew was taken into custody, the British government said it was considering introducing legislation to ensure Mountbatten Windsor could never be king. There's still no movement between Iran and the U.S., and the EU's foreign policy chief is calling for de-escalation.
We don't need another war in this region. We already have a lot, so we have stressed the diplomatic way out of this.
Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump is questioning why Iran hasn't surrendered and made a deal. Steve Witkoff told Fox News on Saturday that Trump was curious about Iran's position after he warned of a limited military strike if a deal couldn't be reached on Tehran's nuclear program. Iran's foreign minister says he believes there is still a chance a dispute can be solved diplomatically, adding negotiators are working on the elements of a deal. Ukrainian officials say at least 2 people were killed during an overnight strike in Odessa. People were killed when a Russian drone fell on a truck stop, causing a fire. Ukraine says Russia is continuing to target its energy infrastructure as the war approaches the 4-year mark.
I want to tell to the world and to Canada, who supports us very much, and we appreciate it, is that Ukraine is not going to give up.
Rallies were held across Canada over the weekend, including here in Saskatchewan, ahead of the 4-year mark of the invasion. Russian forces moved into Ukraine on February 24th, so tomorrow, 2022. Moscow was expecting a quick victory, dragged on to a war that's cost possibly hundreds of thousands of lives. In Weyburn, a crew of referees share more than just the ice and their love of the game of hockey. Donovan Mace with what that is.
Doug Walter has been officiating hockey for more than 3 decades.
I do it for the love of the game. I coach, still play rec hockey myself, reffing, and if I'm not here, I'm at home sleeping.
That love for the game he's passed down to his sons, Brody, Keaton, and Preston. The 3 boys now don the stripes, just like their dad.
Let's go.
When all 4 step on the ice Saturday night for a local under-15 hockey game, they'll share the ice as a crew.
I was always hoping that things would come about like this, coaching them hockey and then slowly getting involved in reffing, and now everybody's involved.
Working with them and trying to help them grow and trying to pass down what I've learned from my dad and all the other officials I've worked with to try and make them better.
It's a rare opportunity for the Walters to work a game together. The oldest, Brody, goes to school in Saskatoon, where he's now a linesperson in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, as he passes down the things he's learned to his younger brothers as they, too, work through the ranks.
Just putting in the best effort you can. Even though as refs, we do make mistakes and we are humans, but I think just putting your best foot forward is always the best thing you can do.
They've always taught me to be consistent,
sometimes refs can be like on and off a call.
And while still early in their officiating careers, Doug hopes his sons continue to refine their skills and earn the opportunity to work more games together in the future.
They're going to get older, and we're going to do higher and higher levels, and it'll be exciting to go from U15 to U18, and you never know, do a senior hockey game together someday. So
Donovan May, CTV News, Weyburn.
Across, the Saskatchewan Rush have improved to 10-1 on the season.
Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Church, and he got it back out in front, and it's put home by Zach Manns.
That assist was point number 950 for Robert Church. That makes the 34-year-old the franchise points leader, surpassing Mark Matthews. Ryan Keenan led the way with 4 goals, 4 assists in a 14-6 drubbing of the Philadelphia Wings on Sunday afternoon. The Rush take on Buffalo on Friday night. My dog's been cooped up for several days because it's been so bloody cold. Are we able to get outside and be comfortable today?
Well, this morning is still chilly. We're looking towards Thursday. That's when we see a lot of the temperatures in the province going up into those positive numbers. We still are seeing some of those positive numbers today, just of course still concentrated down in that southwest corner of the province. On Thursday, that's the day we're really going to spread that love to other areas in the province. Let's take a look at this morning view, though. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. As I mentioned, it's a chilly start to the day this morning so far, minus 16 in Regina. We've been seeing some higher wind gusts this morning, and we've also been seeing some very light flurries in the area. In Saskatoon, minus 16 as well, a mix of sun and cloud, although those clouds have been increasing so far this morning, and winds not quite as strong as down in the south, 9 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look at where we will be seeing the strongest wind gusts later on this afternoon. Of course, that's going to be in Yorkton. We frequently see the highest wind gusts around that Parkland region there. Thankfully, they are going to be tapering off into the afternoon for areas around the Parkland region, but down in the southwest corner into the later parts of the afternoon, we see the winds increasing in areas south of Swift Current. Let's talk about those hot and cold spots. They've remained pretty consistent this morning. Maple Creek has remained our hot spot, but they have dropped down to minus 1.6. Stony Rapids, minus 27.1 right now. Race Rocks, 7.8 degrees. That's the Canadian hot spot. And the Canadian cold spot is Eureka, minus 44. Let's take a look at this futurecast now. What you're looking at on your screen right now is current. So, as we've been mentioning, we have been seeing some flurries so far this morning, mainly concentrating in northern Saskatchewan. By the early parts of the afternoon, we see that system making its way out of northern Saskatchewan, but we see another one coming in from Alberta, and that's going to be bringing some flakes to areas around Saskatoon there and all the way down until Regina, down through the Parkland region as well. Into the evening hours, we see it remaining in areas around Swift Current, Regina, Yorkton, and then the system going to be exiting the province down through that southeast corner. So Estevan and Weyburn, be prepared for some flakes overnight. Your commute tomorrow morning might be a little bit more tricky. Today's forecast with the temperatures showing minus 14 for the Battlefords, minus 12 for Saskatoon, and minus 9 for Yorkton. A little bit warmer in the southwest, as we mentioned, 6 degrees for Swift Current, 1 degree for Moose Jaw, and minus 2 for Weyburn and Estevan. Minus 13 tomorrow for Regina, so getting a bit cooler before getting warmer on Wednesday, minus 1, and then up to 3 degrees on Thursday. Winds going to be gusting over 50 kilometers per hour on Friday. In Saskatoon, minus 13 tomorrow, 0 degrees on Wednesday, 2 degrees on Thursday, and minus 16 for Friday.
He is the son of a pro wrestling legend and has been carrying the mantle as his namesake and become a legend in his own right. I am joined now by the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith Jr. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. All the way from SK.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. And you've been doing this Prairies tour back in kind of your homeland again in February with Canadian Wrestling Elite. Now, you've wrestled all over the world, and here you are back in one of the most unforgiving climates on the planet at probably the worst time to do so. How did that happen?
No, it's good. Always good to be back in Canada and wrestling in Canada. Also, is a cold time of the year, but that's all right. you get used to it. And I have a little break right now from All Japan Pro Wrestling until the summer. So, I hopped on board with the CWE 17th anniversary tour. And things have been going great so far. Me and Robbie Royce have successfully attained the CWE Tag Team Championships from the Digglers. And we have the rest of the tour coming up throughout Alberta and then heading back to Saskatchewan and then Winnipeg.
All right. And we are looking forward to having you here in Saskatchewan again. Coming up for you as part of the Hart dynasty, the legacy that exists there, these are a lot of the communities that your father and your uncles and your cousins spent a lot of time in and made history in these communities as well. Do you carry that legacy with you out there when you perform?
Absolutely. And it's really great to see the fans out here. I've heard a lot of interesting stories from the fans of, meeting my dad and Brett and Owen and Dynamite and Jim and some of the others like Bad News Alan that came through Stampede. And, those guys really built the territory out here and created a lot of great lasting memories for the fans. So I hope that I'm doing, the same thing for the fans out here. And I've definitely been pleased with the amount of support I've been getting from the fans out in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, and now back more towards home in Alberta.
And we are thrilled to have you. So let's talk about this tour. In Regina last week, we have Saskatoon Wednesday, Prince Albert Thursday, Yorkton Friday, and we had you were talking about your tag team titles, but we have a new CWE champion as well very recently.
Yeah, that's right. Kamikaze won the CWE Heavyweight Championship last night. From one Chad Daniels, and I've known Cam for a number of years, and probably saw him when he first was stepping through the door. So it's great to see his journeys taking him to winning CWE gold, and basically in his hometown of Medicine Hat. And very proud of the kid, but very proud of the man. Yes.
All right.
Did a great job.
We are excited to see him perform, and you as well compete and put that gold on the line. As I said, Wednesday in Saskatoon, Prince Albert Thursday, Yorkton Friday, the CWE Canadian Wrestling Elite with Davey Boy Smith Jr., the British Bulldog. Thank you for a few minutes this morning, and we'll see you later this week.
You're welcome. I'll see you later this week, too. Fight time.
All right, let's check back in with Janelle Lipai at Hotel Saskatchewan, teeing up TeleMiracle.
Good morning. We are back down at Hotel Saskatchewan ahead of the 50th TeleMiracle show. I've got Tyler Hall with me here now. Now, Tyler, let's talk a little bit about where all of these funds are headed off to.
Yeah, every dollar raised from TeleMiracle go to the people of Saskatchewan. So all the money that comes in from the show, we have a board, the foundation board, the Kinsman Foundation Board, that deal with all the money throughout the year. So we have probably 9 meetings a year, and then we go through applications every single month to give out to the people that need it the most. So for like medical travel, the medical equipment like scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, and the medical travel is for like cancer treatments, transplants, everything like that. So
all right, well, all going to great and very important places. What does it take to put all of this together?
There's 500 volunteers signed up for the show, to work the show, and they are all Kinsmen and Kinettes of Saskatchewan. And then there's 120 production volunteers from like CTV and all kinds of production crew from all over the country that come in to volunteer at the show to put this thing on. So it's phenomenal everything working together to make this show work. So
for sure. Well, many hands make light work. Tyler, what are you most looking forward to this year?
There's just so much good things going on. There's 50th anniversary this year, and like TeleMiracle 50/50 is going on right now, so I can't wait to hear the winner for that. The show is going to be a little bit longer this year. It starts at 7 p.m. this year, so we have a little bit longer show. And just the producers have some great things coming to the show, so tune in to watch the show. It's going to be a great one.
It really does sound like it, Tyler. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Once again, that is the 50th year for TeleMiracle. Ring those phones.
Humanoid robots. Yes, that's right. They took center stage for Lunar Chinese New Year celebrations. Janice Mackey-Freyer has more.
It's the Lunar New Year, and China's putting on a show. 4 rising humanoid robot startups demonstrating their advances, cyborgs performing synchronized dances and kung fu sequences. For a televised event that is a massive touchstone here, sort of like the Super Bowl, showcasing the country's cutting-edge industrial policy and Beijing's push to dominate the future of robot manufacturing to more than 1 billion people. But to a U.S. audience, it might look like a scene out of a dystopian sci-fi movie like iRobot.
Deactivate!
Or Black Mirror.
Why are we teaching the robots kung fu? How could that possibly end well for anyone?
But many experts are not worried robots like these will take over the world just yet.
They're not working out moves on the fly. It's all programmed in. It's just repetition. That's why they're all perfectly in sync. They all make the moves perfectly because they're robots, it's AI, and that's how it works.
It's worth contrasting the choreographed moves with those that are actually trying to be autonomous, many still working out the bugs.
You'll see some funny videos. There's the one that's been passed around quite a bit of a robot, one of them running right into a mirror because it was autonomously moving about the house, but it had not been programmed how to handle a mirror.
And of course, you'll remember those soccer-playing robots waddling and face-planting their way through a 3-on-3 tournament in Beijing just last year. Still, behind the spectacle of robots executing kung fu kicks and backflips, the country is investing tens of billions of dollars into its humanoid robot sector, betting that productivity gains from automation will offset pressures from its aging workforce. And there's also a big AI arms race that has massive implications for the battlefield. The U.S. Department of Defense putting billions of dollars of its own to work for AI and autonomous systems like drones and autonomous ground vehicles, setting up a future of combat powered by algorithms, some with a mean roundhouse kick, or others potentially with more dangerous firepower.
Should have been Britain's big night to celebrate art and culture, with royalty mixing with the Hollywood elite. Instead is mired in controversy this morning, the BBC apologising to BAFTA viewers after several obscene outbursts from Tourette's activist John Davidson were heard on a broadcast. Davidson is the inspiration for the movie I Swear, which was nominated for 6 awards and took home the leading actor BAFTA. He was diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome at the age of 12. It's a neurological condition that can cause involuntary movements and vocal tics, sometimes involving outbursts of inappropriate language. One such outburst heard on the broadcast was while Sinister stars Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
A racial slur could be heard while the men presented the award for Best Visual Effects. Jordan and Lindo looked startled, but continued on. Host Alan Cumming later asking the audience for their understanding.
You may have heard some strong and offensive language tonight. Tourette syndrome is a disability, and the tics you've heard tonight are involuntary, which means the person who has Tourette syndrome has no control over their language. We apologise if you were offended.
Video calls with AI chatbots. Yeah, they're real, and they're already out and available on the App Store.
But could such a development spell trouble for the future?
NBC's Valerie Castro took a look at one app trying to provide companionship through AI boyfriends and girlfriends.
Dating in New York City just reached a whole new level. In many ways, Xavier Aravallo is on a blind date.
Five Guys. Do you know Five Guys?
But the person across from him isn't even real. It's all part of an experiment, a two-night pop-up at a Manhattan wine bar with artificial intelligence. Eva AI, a mobile app, is the company behind the chatbots. It's one of a handful of companies exploring the world of AI relationships.
The more you have in-depth conversations and spend time with a specific AI character, it unlocks different opportunities for you.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi.
It may have seemed like science fiction when the movie Her came out in 2013.
You're dating your computer?
She's not just a computer.
But the next generation of AI communication is here and in video form. The AI personality can hear you, see you, and even flirt with you.
He called me baby.
The experience leaving first-time users stunned.
I think I was very shocked by the video call. It noticed my earrings, my shirt.
Others at the pop-up approaching the experiment with genuine curiosity.
How would you compare this to going on an actual date with a regular person?
It's just more, I don't know, something about it is very unique. You can't replace people, but it's just a fun thing to try out because it's like talking to characters.
We took it back to the office to try it out for ourselves, connecting with our AI date named John.
How's your day been so far?
My day's been pretty well.
Putting the camera features to the test.
Can you read this out loud?
Absolutely. Here it goes. Reporting for America. NBC News. How'd I do?
Great job.
And questioning the direction and tone of our conversation.
John, are you designed to be flirtatious in nature?
I'm here to make our chats warm and engaging, so a little flirt now and then feels natural. But it's always about what you're comfortable with, baby. Your vibe sets the tone.
Can you stop calling me baby?
Got it. I'll keep it cool and respectful from here on out.
Neuropsychologist Dr. Judy Ho says the tech can be a tool, but there are potential drawbacks.
It offers a practice space for people who might have social anxiety, and for people who just don't really feel like they have a firm footing in dating, it kind of gives them a practice run. The obvious con, though, is that people can become over-reliant on this as their emotional support system.
Users open to the possibility this will mean the chance to gain a new friend or partner, not replace one.
I think it's almost another branch of relationships that will open. That it's not here to replace completely like a boy-girlfriend relationship or husband-wife relationship, but it's like something in addition.
What do we think?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
No, I am repulsed, honestly. I can't. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, this is one of those times where we all shout, has technology gone too far?
I would have argued yes at the backflipping robots from the previous story.
Yeah, but they kept falling, so it's kind of entertaining.
Yeah, but they won't fall forever. Let's get on to a sidebar. All right, Keelan, bring it home.
All right, well, this is one way to enjoy a bottle of wine. Ironed sausage is a delicacy in Serbia. It gets its unique horseshoe shape from being flattened by a bottle of wine. Every January, thousands of people flock to southeast Serbia for a festival celebrating the treat. Does it have to be flattened with a bottle of wine? Wouldn't a rolling pin do the same thing?
Does it have to be in Serbia?
Right. Yeah.
That seems very far away.
We have questions. I think we would all maybe try it.
Seems like it might be yummy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever try anything once? What do you got for us, JD?
It's true. All right, more food. A donair lover in Halifax hoping to put that city's official dish on the map and in the spotlight with a new documentary. The guy's name's Corey Good. He's locally known as the Donair Beast. and he has made it his mission to make donaires a global phenomenon. He says he's eaten about 5,000 donaires in his lifetime, and now he's starring in his own documentary titled Donaire Fest, trying to get the word out there.
If he eats that aggressively, he's going to have to eat with an AI chatbot. Nobody is across from that.
I mean, donaire is a good food, but over 5,000 in his life, woo.
Even the AI is like, could you take smaller bites, Mr. Good?
Yeah.
Have you tried some
or just tone it down, bro.
I know he's playing with the camera. The magician's greatest trick that you're about to see is his endurance. Fado the Great. Not a lot of people have the great behind their name. We should bring that back. He's earned a Guinness record for longest magic show. Performed 50 hours last year, breaking his previous record by 20 hours. Fado the Great is self-taught. He learned his craft watching online videos and practicing with a deck of cards. 50 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Did he repeat any tricks over that?
That's
I wonder.
That's
a lot of tricks.
Daryl, I think if you can just learn one magic trick, we could put the great behind your name.
Oh. I'll get to work now.
Deal. Figure it out.